This is only a test.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Another edition of the Black Dad Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Pascal Rascal, also known as Cousin Day Day, Neighborhood Pimp. It's like, no,
Neighborhood pimp is funny.
that's good. But Ed, how you, how
Yes,
you
sir.
doing, man? How was your week?
Man, week was pretty good. Had a few birthdays over the last couple of weeks. My son Elijah, his birthday was on the 11th. He turned 8, and my daughter Brianna just turned 21.
Gang,
She just turned 21 yesterday. So, but the weeks have been, I know it's been, I think it's been 2 weeks since we last recorded, but everything has been cool, man. Just working this thing, just trying to figure out new ways to work get the network popping, man. Obviously, the ways to keep the podcast flowing. We doing this. I'm also doing the Young Black and Gifted podcast. You hit me up this week about some ideas or some things that you want to do creatively. So, just trying to make sure that I'm in a good head space creatively to be able to benefit purpose. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, everything's been good, man. Just taking it a day at a time. And nothing crazy been going on, which is a blessing. So, but other than that, man, I'm ready to get this joint rocking and rolling. How about yourself? How you been?
Oh man, I'm thankful, man. I can't complain. Life been good, man. Like even if it's bad, it's still good. Count it all as joy. So I've been chilling, man. Definitely speaking what you speaking about, like the different ideas and things we kind of got in the works. We'll keep it underneath the wraps until we get everything
Mm-hmm.
together. I know one for sure. We definitely rocking out with is the Young Black and Greedy
Mm-hmm.
joint, where we slide to different locations, trying different foods and stuff. Like, you know, even with the kids, you can re-record with your squad. I record
Yes,
with my
sir.
squad. We get days, we can link up, try different foods. So I think it'd be good and give a different exposure to a lot of the good mom and pop stores out here. A lot of the small family black owned businesses, even minority owned businesses, even white owned businesses, but just really just generally good food.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, we working towards that. The winter time to be nice. You kind of get that
Yeah.
thing rolling.
And that's the thing too. Yeah, like you hit it on the head with about wintertime. Things will be the days will go by a little quicker, but everything else will be pretty much slower. Because you'll be able to kind of like map out things. With the exception of maybe the cold weather.
Yeah,
But with the wintertime coming up, we should definitely be able to get a lot of things done. Just gearing up for it. I know school just started. A lot of different things. Being a father has its challenges in itself. So just wanted to make sure that we got a good balance on this shit. You feel me?
yeah.
But that's a dope joint. I really like that one. That's one of the joints I'm looking forward to. That Young Black and Greedy. It's fire.
Yeah. We going to be a lot of exposure because a lot of different spots. Even just talking to my girl, like we just came from getting some Jamaican food, and when I say just in this Wilmington area, so much good food. Just like so, and it's just like it's variations. So we was going to try out different oxtails from all the Jamaican spots or different Chinese stores out here. Like when I say it's like a 1 block radius where you ain't even got to really travel too much. Like you can get some Jamaican food from there, African, Dominican, Chinese, like whatever you want, soul food. They got us called Waltz out here. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
variation of like really good food out here.
Yeah, they got what I'll say about out here, I'm not the biggest fan. Not to say that they don't have good. I haven't been everywhere to say that there's no good food out here, but I guess just based off of my experiences with like trying to like get foods that I normally get out here, they haven't been well. But that doesn't mean that there aren't some good spots. They do have a lot of good authentic Mexican food out here. So, that's one of me and Jazz Jones, the burrito tacos, or we get the
Like you,
burrito
you, you be
pizzas.
eating Mexican food.
Yeah, that's your five. Yeah, look, here you go. Here you go.
I see you got your polo on today. Looks like a Dominican poppy.
With the sweat. But it's a lot of good vibes out here, is what I want to say. You follow me? There's a
Alright.
lot of spots. We're not too far from DC. DC also has that culture. So, even like going into DC and trying to find some good food spots, I think it'd be dope if we, even if we get the chance for y'all to come down or we come
Yeah,
up there.
no,
You know
no,
what I'm saying?
I'm with it because I actually I took the family down to I think was it Chinatown in DC. Like when I say like the food is affordable, we took them to a Korean spot. Only thing is my son spilled his water on me twice at the table. Like
knocking it down.
knocking it down, and I'm just like the water's just dripping. It must have been a side of the table. It's just leaking on me the whole time, and he's just feeling so bad. I'm just like, Dad, it's okay.
That's too funny.
Nah, I just remember that, but yeah, no, the food was like definitely good. So I'm looking forward to that, Joe.
What's your so you said you guys just did Jamaican food?
Yeah,
What if you were to recommend a spot, any type of food, any culture, like what would you recommend like in that area in Wilmington? What's the spot that you would recommend?
man, if I gotta just basically go off, no, I'm gotta go to my go to. Like I just had this Jamaican food, but it's a Chinese store out here called King Garden. No, King Garden. Yeah, King Garden.
Mm-hmm.
When I say you already know it's gonna be good when the kids is in the back doing homework and they taking your order. Like you reading a book, can I take your order? You already know the food gonna be busting because the adults is taking
No, real
care of
right.
the cooking. So yeah, like
Real
that's
right.
my go to, and it'd be like I can get a General Tso's lunch special for $7. Yeah, where
That's a
you
good
getting
joint.
the? And then it's like it's a nice amount towards though I'm feeding me and the kids. My two of the kids can split it. Like so, it's like it's a nice amount of food for just $7.
That's a
That's
good.
like my king. It's on 4th Street out in Wilmington, King Garden. Like, man, when I say I recommend it to anybody, there's other food out there, but if you saying like one I could recommend in this area, it had to be that one.
Okay. That sounds good. And we haven't really had too many good Chinese. We had some okay food spots out here, but I haven't really, it's been a while. That was on my, on food you gonna miss if you leave Pennsylvania. Like I just haven't had any real good Chinese food since we moved down to Maryland. So I could definitely go for some good chicken, some classic fried chicken from the Chinese store.
And
Yeah.
when you slide in, listen, our episode is gonna be crazy because we're gonna have an episode where we just trying different Chinese store chicken wings. And we going to the city just for a day. We gonna go hop at different spots. And so, man, my stomach gotta be right for this show.
Word. And a dope John, with those we could record. We'll get to that. I
Yeah,
ain't gonna give everything away, but
yeah,
that'll be pretty simple. It's not gonna be a hard John to be able to do. You feel me? All
right,
we would have to really do is just link up. You feel me? Everything else to take care of itself. You feel me?
yeah.
Word.
So we got a special episode for y'all today, man. Like really going to get into the nit and grit of everything that's been going on in America, the media, things of that nature. But we also it was real gracious enough to allow us to just do it to a straight just man cave episode towards though like we talking everything, but we just really just discussing life and just two fellas and just having a conversation. So I'm gonna
Word
get
up.
into it. Our main topic today is freedom of speech. What are the risks involved, and how do you feel about the reactions to Charlie Kirk's death? The censorship efforts by the right when canceling shows like Jimmy Kimmel and having people fired for comments.
So for starters, I didn't know Charlie Kirk before he passed. I didn't know. I never heard of him. Never heard anything from him. Obviously, since then, I went and did some research or whatnot. But what I'll say is, right, I'll start off like this, right? Anytime somebody loses their life, regardless of what they've done or what they've said, I would never recommend or think that it's a good idea to like talk bad about that person. It kind of reminds me of we talk about drill rap and we've denounced like drill rap here on a podcast. I just feel like regardless of what those people did, just allow those people to rest in peace, right? And that's maybe just me because and I know it's not just me. I know a lot of people can attest to this. I'm a God-fearing man. I'm not perfect. However, it's just certain things that I just try to stay away from
Yeah.
just out of good faith. You know what I'm saying? So can't even imagine. I don't even hate people, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it's people that have done me wrong or have, hurt my feelings, and hate just isn't a part of like the makeup of the feelings that I've built. So for a stranger, somebody that I don't know, even if they said some things that could be offensive to myself, I just can't imagine. I can't see a world or a space in my world where I would make fun of or basically diss the dead, like we say,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
In terms of freedom of speech, man. You gotta you gotta go back down memory lane, man. I don't think it was ever a point in time where freedom of speech was allotted. If it especially if it what's the word I'm looking for? If it threatened the bigger picture, if you will. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So, we laugh and joke, this the Young Black and Gifted podcast. You laugh, call me a radical. So, it's a lot of people, it's a lot of our leaders who we've lost because of their willingness to speak out and say things, right?
Right.
So I would say that, like, as far as like, I would insert that, not to like take away from the detriment that Charlie's death had on his family and his friends. However, again, I'm pretty sure a lot of people didn't know Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
A lot of people probably did, right? But the casual everyday person, you know what I'm saying? They most likely didn't know who he was. I just, it's I have a pretty like my outlook on that is pretty broad. You know what I'm saying? I'll end by saying this, and I'll let you take over. I think it's important that people learn how to like focus on the things that serve them.
Yeah.
What does is no good. You know what I'm saying? I could list again. I talk about our black leaders who have lost their lives. I could go on and on. I could give you a list of at least 5 of them, right, who have lost their lives in the same fashion, right? But again, my mission, I'm not here to denounce Charlie Kirk. I'm not here to talk bad about him. You follow me? So,
Yeah.
but what I will say is keep that same energy. It's this like, I don't want to get too, because we want to put this on YouTube. So I don't want to get too crazy, my thing, right? But however, I'm young, black, and gifted, bro. So, a lot of my leaders, a lot of people that I looked up to politically, they've been taken out or something, if something has happened to them, I'll just say this without saying the name. It's, I know they say it's not good to look up to like athletes and entertainers. However, who else do we have to look up to if it ain't the athletes? I'm saying coming from where we come from, coming up how we come up is either that or the dudes, the dope boy, the dudes that's getting money in the hood. You feel me? So it could be a little disheartening to watch some of your heroes, some of the people that you once looked up to, you grow up and they, you find out some of the most unethical things about them, the way they live their lives and all that stuff. So, and again, that's not me judging them, but it's just saying, like, for a black man in America, you know what I'm saying? Who grew up without a father. That's the premise here. We talk about that a lot too, right? We have to find guidance somewhere. I'm not saying that sports and entertainers are the best options, right? But you have to find it from somewhere, whether it's in politics, whether it's in, your neighbor, your community, anywhere, right? So that's why I say I think it's most important that people, not just black people, but people just focus on the things that are serving to them. Now, as far as free speech, again, I would just say, like, I can't really think of a time where it ever was like free, especially if I seen this thing where they broke it down like the only people that kind of like get away with it is poor people, because they're not a threat. So you can say whatever you want. It don't matter. Or, the people at the top that control things, right? But if you fall somewhere in between it there, you gotta kind of like play the game. If you want to stay in it, you gotta kind of like play the game. So obviously I fall under the line of poor people because I'm gonna say how I feel. That's how I felt. When I got fired from I'm gonna say, not my most recent job, but the job that I cared about a lot, and it helped me, like, it established who I was in my career. That's how it felt. It felt like I was going against the feds. That's how I felt, but it was mainly because of that thing right there, because I would speak out. I wasn't going to be easily persuaded, but to the point, don't none of that shit matter. This our shit. You can move around. We don't care. We don't care how good you are at what you do. We don't care how much of a benefit. If you gonna cause a ruckus or if you gonna cause a little friction in there, you talking about starting a union and all that stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna get you going. You know what I'm saying? But it's the way of the world. You follow me? So that's what I would say. That's how I would end it off and say, like, I can't really think. I don't agree with it, but at the same time, I'm not surprised by it. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, I think people don't understand is freedom of speech, but it's not freedom of consequences. You're going to say something, but you also may have to suffer consequences to what you've done. I believe I looked it up because a lot of people were saying they were upset that people were getting fired from their reactions to Charlie Kirk's death. And they were like, and D.L. Hughley wrote online, how many people got fired for George Floyd comments? And I actually looked it up. It was 827 people. I believe that was reported, that were fired, and people that were in high authority. So it's like it comes from both sides. Like it's from the left and the right. If you say something discouraging that evokes a form of emotion, you're going to get a reaction, and a reaction is not always sometimes going to be good. I would never celebrate death, but I think that's where we are in society now. They celebrated the death of the United Healthcare CEO when the guy shot him and killed him. He had a family, but based off his job, then to celebrate his death. I was aware of who Charlie Kirk was. Me and my girl had just recently watched a South Park episode where they mimic him, and Cartman is acting like he's him, has the same haircut as him, talking like him. He would go on these different college tours. I kind of was first made aware of him by Candace Owens. They both worked for Turning Point USA together. And she has her own way of thinking, and he has his way of thinking. And I was not always in agreement with him. A lot of, especially when he talked about black people, from saying things like if he saw a black pilot, he would question if they had the right
Qualified.
credentials, if they were
Yeah.
qualified. He said things about Martin Luther King. He said George Floyd was a scumbag. He died from a fentanyl. Excuse me. He died from a fentanyl overdose. They said things like Juneteenth shouldn't be a national holiday. He's on his way to work. So he said a lot of different things that were really disparaging to the black community, and I was never in agreement with him. However, freedom of speech is just that. Like you have every right. And I always say all the time, I don't care about your sexual orientation, your political affiliation, your religious confirmation. I'm not going to hate you. It takes energy to hate somebody. And all these people that was celebrating and so happy because that man died, like it was just sad to see. But then on the flip side, when you got people like Jimmy Kimmel, whose shows are now being canceled or suspended indefinitely and forced to do an apology based off of their reactions, and it just goes to show like we're in a different time now. There really is an authoritative. There really is a government that really is taking over people's rights right now. Like censorship is real. Like if you're saying something that the president is not in agreement with, you may get censored. Like a lot of different people are buying up these companies, these TV networks. So it's a critical time right now, man, to be able to speak freely and express your opinion. It's going to be rare coming soon, I believe, unless we really change it. Because like I said, I'm not in agreement with everything Trump does, but I do think this is a mistake to kind of start to censor media members and people of the journalistic integrity to try to, like, when they're not doing anything but just reporting from their point of view. I miss times where journalists would just report from an non-objective viewpoint, like Walter Cronkite, where they would just give you the news, tell you what it is, and you would think about it on your own. But now you got left wing, you got right wing, you got MSNBC. They're going to tell you one story one way. Fox News is going to tell you a story another way. CNN might lie, tell you a story a whole different way. It's just you got to just watch where you get your information from. It's just this wild times right now.
Say that the country is pretty consistent in what it is. Nothing has really changed. What I'll say about the people, though, they tend to have a recency bias. You follow me? So what I mean, Malcolm X. I'm not comparing. You know how I feel about Malcolm X. I'm not going.
That was your favorite childhood movie.
I'm not even going to compare him. However, my point would be, he was young. He wasn't 40 when he lost his life. And it happened in front of his children. I challenge people to go. We can see the effects of what that has. Go look up his children and then see how they've been over the course of the last 60 years, if you will. You follow me? So my point, that's why I say what I say about, like, people should just focus on what's in front of them.
Yeah.
We don't talk like, I think everything as far as politics, even though it does and it can and it does affect anybody, any and everybody on a day to day, it doesn't have to. My point is people are controlled by what they consume. You follow me? I'm just not into politics. I try to. This is me, Davon. The economy. I do care about, like, war and all that stuff, because if something like that really happened, and I do care about natural disasters and stuff like that, but I don't care enough about the people involved in it to, like, dedicate myself to, like, denouncing them or talking bad about them. I only care about how whatever they got going on, how it affects me. And for real, in a lot of cases, you ain't got no control over it anyway.
Right.
So again, I re-enter Malcolm X, and people are like, the conversation had always been for us to, like, do for self. I know my point would say, I know it's for me to say that may be a drop in the ocean, right? I might not be the right person to kind of like echo that message because I just I don't have the power or the platform. However, I'm just saying, like, for me and my people and the people in my community, you know what I'm saying? Regardless, it don't, you know what's been going on still since bro lost his life? The inner cities is still in the uproar.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's still those things that are this, you know. So that's kind of like, I'm not saying that that's what I consist my day of, but I care about those things. My day don't consist of, like, being in the inner cities. However, that's what I care about. I care about I got children. You follow me?
Yes.
That live in the city, and that are, if I don't straighten this thing out, they could become subject to the things that go on in their environments. You
Right.
follow me? So that's kind of like where my focus is. So it would never be like, I watched a few of Charlie's Jones, and I'll say, like, he wasn't lying. I might not have caught no racist Jones. I'm gonna be honest, but the Jones that I did catch, he was. I didn't think he was lying, even if it was offensive. My point
Yes.
is, again, it's like this, right? Maybe he just wasn't the person to echo those. He should be the person to echo those sentiments.
Yes.
However, he's telling you everything you need to know, especially as a black man, a black woman with children, telling you everything. So why I wouldn't even understand why
I
we
think
would continue to.
the truth hurts to people when it's in their face. When he said that 60% of murders are committed by black people and we make up 13% of the population, that's some self work we got to do. But to hear it from a white man, I think it stung a little bit. So that's why people had a problem with it when they shouldn't. Like, he's not lying.
And he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that compassion. You
Right.
follow me? Whereas, like, we talk about those things, we might talk about such issues. We might feel like even if it's a slight connection, even if it doesn't affect us directly, we might know somebody that could be affected by that. You follow me?
Yes.
So he doesn't have the emotional connection to it. So that might make it seem or come across as like cold also. But however, my point is it's a lot of, my perspective on it is a little like warped, if you will. It's not like one. It's not black and white, because and that's another reason why I guess I don't get involved in politics either, because I always believe that it's context. It can't just be me and you. And even if it is me and you, this world is too big for it only to be my way or your way. Like, nah, it has to be other options out here. But like I said, that's how it's been run
I just
since before we was born.
I just need to always stay informed a little bit because it's so much going on in the world. And if you really don't pay attention, you don't read, because they're not everything that goes on in the news or in the world, they're not reporting in the news. Sometimes you got to do your own research. People don't even probably realize that Democrats and the Republicans unanimously just voted to now recognize Charlie Kirk on his birthday. Like, it's going to be a national observance to recognize that. Democrats and Republicans just agree to that. So that wasn't publicized. I didn't see that any news reports or anything. So I always try to stay a little informed.
So I want to say two things, and then if we want, we can move on. Like, even with something like that, right? Like how I am, that's like, even listen, Martin Luther King Day might come, and I might not acknowledge it, right? However, February 6th, what's February 6th? Bob Marley birthday. I'd be like, oh snap, Bob Marley birthday. February 19th is the day that Malcolm X lost his life. You follow me?
Yes.
So those are like dates that ring off in my head. So they've been giving us dates to follow and to abide by since before we was born. You
Right.
follow me? So even if they did decide to do that, like, I might have an opinion on it, but it won't affect me directly in any kind of way. But I do
Yes.
agree with you, like, being informed is important. It was one other thing I wanted to say. I don't know, it was something in reference to something else that you said, but it must have ran away from me.
We'll
I
get
don't
that
know. I just
motherfucker
think
back.
I don't know. It's okay. It must not have been that. It was something good, but it must not have been that important. It ran away from me. But I did want to say that though. Like, it wouldn't, to each his own. You feel me? And I just want to, like, for me again, I've played the game, if you will, and I lost. Right.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, fuck that game. I'm just being honest. Like
Yeah.
I don't even want to. If I'm gonna make it to a Billy, I can't take the same route. That's Jay-Z, right? But I'm just saying, right? If I'm going to get beyond where I've been, I can't go the same way, especially after taking a loss. Even if it take me a little longer, what becomes most important to me is being in control. You follow me?
Yeah.
We'll end up giving any and everything else control over our lives, and then won't realize it until it's too late. You
Yeah.
follow me? So that's, and again, and that's not to denounce. Again, I'm not denouncing anybody. I only talk about myself and for people alike. That's not to denounce anybody that has found a way. I respect my biggest thing. I think if everybody led with respect, but people, is none of that. You read the 48 laws of power. You work your way up a corporate ladder. Respect is not in order. You follow me? It's positioning, power, positioning. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't care who they step all over. They don't care who they treat like dirt. You follow me?
Yeah.
And I really don't desire to be a part of that world anymore. You feel me? I'd rather work with my brethren. If I can't see myself getting down with you, just remove myself, move around. But I don't have to. I don't see it fit to like tear another person down because they have different views than me, or
Right.
they have different ideas than me, or because we in the same industry and we both try and get to the same spot. You follow me? Those are just things that don't reside inside of my heart. You feel me? So, but we gonna get to that. I wish I remember that other thing, but if it come back to me, we got a good episode anyway. So we got a lot of other great things to talk about.
Yeah, we got it. We're rocking out. Get to the stat of the week. I found this online from Pew Research. According to Pew Research, 1 in 25 Black Americans are now millionaires. And gang boasted nearly 2 million millionaires, making Black Americans the second largest millionaire demographics in the United States, while only making up 13% of the population. What you think about that, brother? So if you got
Love it.
25
I
brothers in
love
the
it. That
room,
kind of
at least one of them is got an M.
even if I and this will be my thing, right? That kind of like fits to what I was just talking about, right? You may be the 25th guy, right? But even if I'm the 15th guy out of those 25, right? I'm somewhere in that vicinity. You follow me? Now, once you hit the 25, like how I look at it, how I process that information, once you hit your million, that take you off the list. So now I don't went from 15th to 16th on the list. You follow me? Like, so my point is, I love it because it's, to me, that's confirmation that it's possible.
Right.
The fact that I'm trying to figure out a different route or a different way to do it, because that's my my goal here with the network and the podcast, and it's not just to be rich, but to create. I just seen this thing the other day or yesterday, and I was watching it, and he said rich has a different definition to depending on who you're talking to, right?
Right.
To some people, rich may mean, I got a big mansion, I got a big car, whereas for other people, it might just mean freedom. They might feel rich just being able to wake up in the morning and not have to be controlled, but they have control over their day and things will still be taken care of. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like what it is with me. I wouldn't mind having like, the big house and a big car, but that's not the goal. The goal is to free myself up, to free my family up. You feel me? Free my children up so that they don't have to continue down the same road. You feel me? And maybe it'd be one of my grandchildren that gets the big money, but just to kind of like shift the idea and it start with your thinking. You know what I'm saying? And again, that's not to denounce like anybody that's willing to take that route and gamble on that. But I just know for me, because my point would be I've worked way too hard, bro. Yeah. So it has to be, and just how things have aligned for me, bro. Even when I talk about how me and you ended up here, right? That wasn't by chance. It was by purpose.
Right. Absolutely.
I ain't say on purpose. That was by purpose. You can say on purpose, but it was by purpose. You follow me? So I think when you do that, you stay strong in your faith, bro. You stay focused on your goals. You could do it. You could, whether it's a billionaire, 100,000-aire. Most people, we talked about the stat. Even if it's 100,000, if it's 100,000-aire, that's better than what a lot of people doing anyway. So you gonna be living a lot better making $700,000 I won't say, well, even if it was 700,000 years, 1,000 opposed to 7 million a year, that's going to be
Right.
living better than a lot of people, bro. So that's my thing too. Like, I want to, it's also to stay grounded, not to become, what's the word? Allow superficial ideas to overtake my mind. I'll be cool with just being able to have my time with my lady. Shout out to Jazz. Shout out to her sister too. It's her sister birthday. They out celebrating her sister birthday or whatnot. But being able to free my lady up of anything that don't really serve her, you follow me? Align my children with the same thing. So
Yeah.
in terms of the stat, I love it, bro. And like I said, it's just confirmation that it's possible.
Yeah, it's a good move. We moving in the right direction. Glad to see my people making these
I agree.
strides. I had like I said, we're going to rock out to the man cave. We got a lot of good joints for us to discuss.
The Man Cave. Brought to you in part by the YBG Network.
For to start off with the man cave, the Spurs center Wembanyama has worked out this offseason. He has worked out with Monks. He has worked out with Hall of Fame power forward Kevin Garnett, and he has worked out with NBA champion and Hall of Famer Hakeem Olajuwon, all in the same offseason. Man, Goku ain't even trained that hard when he was trying to fight Frieza. So, what do you
You
expect for him?
just that whole greatness. And
Yeah,
with that makeup, if he could really, and you got to remember too, he still has access to Greg Popovich.
yeah.
He still got access to the likes of
Timmy Duncan,
damn,
Mando.
what's his name? Tim Duncan. So yeah, he going the as far as just the game itself, the KG and Hakeem Olajuwon, that's fire. You got to
Yeah,
realize he's 7+ feet, so he's naturally athletic. But what working with Hakeem is going to do is going to make him like skilled,
yeah. Put some
skilled
finesse
at
to
that
it.
size.
Yeah,
Like he's going to learn how to woo. And KG, kind of the same thing with KG, but I think like kind of like mentally tough. You feel me?
yeah.
He's still kind of like a kid at this point. But I think like working with KG, he'll learn some skills from KG. But I think the most important thing that he can pull from KG is KG's mental toughness.
Right.
KG, the type of person that'll create a beef with you in his head just to try to get the competitive edge on you. You follow me?
Mhm.
And obviously, you said months, so we talking about discipline. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a
Yes.
great. I would say greatness, man. He had a good season. I think he got hurt last season. Their
Yeah,
team is pretty good.
yeah.
They
They
just
going
young right
along.
now. I think I would like to see they gave Greg Popovich that position. I think that they just tried to figure out a way to not stress Greg Popovich like by having him travel, but
Yeah,
still have him in a position to be able to use his basketball mind.
right. Yeah.
I think he'll still have like input on the team and such,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
So I would expect some good things from I expect some great things from Victor and the whole team.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. Even Goku ain't worked this hard when he's about to fight Frieza. So, for my man to get this and be this far, like it's dope. Like I think it's gonna be a good season for him.
We at this point, I'm done with Embiid. I'm be honest. I've talked about him a few times recently, but to answer the question, I would say they might as well start looking to the future.
Yeah,
They got some good pieces. They got a good, a Tyrese Maxey, even like a Paul George. I like Paul George. I don't know. I think Tyrese Maxey and Paul George will mesh well. Embiid, I think he probably just need to move on. I think it's time for him to move on, and the Sixers to do the same.
I want to get rid of
I
podcast
know
P,
that.
injury prone P. I want to get rid of the cheesesteak P. He in the back of the car with ISO speed P. But you doing everything but playing basketball P. Like no, go ahead, man. He can go. And B, definitely the process is past his prime. He can go about his business. Like I'm cool. I mean, he came back. I looked at this picture recently. He's lost a lot of weight. They say released a lot of trauma, all the things he was going through, the death of his brother, feeling like Sam Hinkie things still over his head. So I mean, if anything is going to happen, he would have to win a championship this year for me to ever think about him staying with us moving forward. But the moment I see he can't do back-to-back games or he's injured or something, I'm just going to really just thinking in my mind, just start shopping him. Let's just build this team around Tyrese Maxey and see what we can get for these veterans and if we got any picks and just try to go from there. Like try to build the draft, build up how OKC did how Houston did, Sacramento or Golden State. Like they build up in a draft or with trades, but it's mostly a farming system where they're just getting these players, they're developing them, and then they're eventually becoming good right before their eyes. So I ain't got no problem with the slow walk. So if we gotta do that, I'd rather that than keep.
I was saying that and B, if he could have stayed healthy, he would most likely, I would think he would dominate Joker. I actually like him over Joker. You feel me?
Yeah.
Especially head to head. But again, like, there's too many issues and problems. He'll show you spurts of how great he can be, but it's just like, in terms of a team that's trying to accomplish things, they want to win. It becomes a distraction, and it hurts the team. It hurts the whole organization, if you will. You feel me? So I would say definitely if giving him another chance this season is a long shot, right? However, I'm with you. Like if he start showing the same signs he's been showing over the last 4 seasons, get rid of him.
I'm in agreement. All right, we're gonna switch subjects right now. Take it to the kids. Questions about our squad. At what age do you feel like your son is gonna be able to whoop your ass?
Shit.
Yeah, I think in nature, look, the lion eventually Simba takes over for Mufasa. Eventually that young lion takes over. We can't lead the pride forever.
I would say so. My sons are 11, 8, and 2, right? I would say Kobe has the best chance because I spend the most time with Kobe. Yeah, and that too. But he'll also learn that he'll know more about me than maybe what Sage gets to pull from me. I think Sage will have the size, but mentally he won't have. I don't think mentally he'll have it, right? Same thing with Elijah. I think I can't really tell with Elijah. I think Elijah had a size, but I can't tell yet about the mental edge. Like Elijah might have the mental edge to try it, but I think I'll have the mental edge to say like, yeah, I'm not letting. But if anything, it would be Kobe, like you said, because I'll be so much older. You feel me? Like I'll probably have that still old man strength, but I probably won't have the stamina and all that stuff like that. And he'll probably be able to use that against me. So I would say Kobe, and it would definitely be like as an adult. You would have to be an adult. So I would say like in his 20s. For any of my sons, I think by the time they hit their mid-20s, they would, for the older boys, they would need mental strength along with like physical strength. You follow me? But as far as Kobe, by the time Kobe hit his mid-20s, it might not even matter. He might have an edge. He might have an edge completely. So I'm going to say mid-20s.
Yeah, I was thinking too with Day Day. So I'm 25 years older than Day Day. As far as with him, I be in my 60s. I can see he gonna smell himself around like 25, and I'm 50. Cause Day Day gonna be bigger than me. I've already had dreams about him. But he's already naturally like he got muscles. That shit is. They ain't come from my side. I must come from his mama's side, or maybe that shit skipped me. But like he got it, so it's like I already know. Come 40. I'm gonna have to be in the gym all the time. I'm gonna have to put some weight on. This little nigga, he gonna try me. So I think personally around like 60, like, cause I'm still gonna be a young whippersnapper. Like I got to still stay young and youthful, but around 60, oh yeah, he gonna be able to whoop my ass. I could already feel that. When I'm 35, if I'm 60, yeah. So that's why. So what I mean by like the mental strength, like, so let's say you are at the face of a altercation with your son, and you like, this nigga big as shit. I'll have enough mental strength to talk him out of it. Yeah. I'll be able to talk him off a ledge. Like, so that's what I mean, like about like mental strength, right? You gonna do this to your father? Everything I done did for you? This how you know God don't like ugly. It ain't Christ-like, son. It ain't Christ-like. So, when they're a little older, if they can kind of like, I'm just saying, like, depending on the circumstances, they're a little older, they might be able to withstand that. But yeah, that's fun. That's funny, dog. Like, it would definitely be Kobe though. Kobe is gonna be like Sage and Elijah will have like, they'll be like big, but Kobe is gonna be strong. He got it now. I see him now. He's very athletic. He do a lot of things, man. Yeah, so let's just hope I get it together before then, so I'll have to deal with that humiliation again, body slammed by my son. Yeah, nah, listen, I'm right there with you. It's on the same to our daughters now. At what age would you let your daughter start dating? Woo! So dating. So I'll say this: with my
with my oldest daughter, I'll let you in when she was in. I want to say when she was in the 8th grade, so she was about like 14. So this was my thing as a young father, right? I already knew that it would come a time where they would enter that space of their lives. So I didn't try to like stop it, but what I did try to do was I tried to like build the structure it, if you will. Like I didn't want them to just go into that space with no structure, right? So when my oldest daughter, when she was about 14, mind you, I had them conversations with her at 12. You like this boy, you know what I'm saying? Like again, just coming again, and maybe again, she the one that made me a grandpa. So I might have, if I knew now what I knew then, I probably would have took a different approach.
Right.
However, I thought that I was doing the right thing by like allowing her a space in her life, but also creating a structure around it, right? But when she turned 14, it was this boy, and like when you say dating, I don't know. I just don't know what that is, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Like I never dated a girl a day in my life, bro. They was either my girlfriend or they wasn't.
Right.
But if I was dating, she was my girlfriend. I never was like, yeah, I like this girl. Let's go out on a few dates and all that shit. Like, no, I was always straight to the point. And if going straight to the point, you might have been my girlfriend. You follow me? So if you could catch my drift. But what I did with my daughter is, when she came to me about, this boy or whatever, and the crazy thing is I remember the young man. If you, all right, well, tell him to come to the house. He came, young boy was probably around the same age, 14, 15 around the time. And he came to the house, knocked on the door, very respectful, introduced himself. And, that was just my thing. Cause I had never had to meet no girls' fathers. Like ever. You feel me? Like I might have had to deal with them at some point in time because of me and my shenanigans. But I never had to like do it in a way where I'd be forced to do the right thing, right? So that was kind of like the approach I was taking with my daughter too, was trying to create that kind of space because I'm like, I already know you out here just dealing with niggas, they gonna treat you any old kind of way. They think your dad ain't around. You feel me? So I tried to get out in front of that joint. But I'm gonna say this. With your blessings or not, it's gonna happen around 15. So I would say 14, 15. It might happen earlier than that. We had girlfriends in elementary school. I know when I was in elementary school, like that was a part of the conversation. That the girls would come up to you. It'd be the girls. It wasn't us. The girls would come up to you. You want to be my boyfriend, Edward? Like, you know what I'm saying? That type shit. You feel me? So, but I mean, like when it kind of becomes a point where like, yo, you need to really be involved and really like lock in. I'm gonna say like that middle school, like latter middle school going into high school. You feel me? 14, 15.
Already told my girls they ain't allowed to date until after they get out of grad school. I don't focus on education. We Muslim. Ain't no dating anyway. Y'all getting married. So I don't even want to think of the mindset to date. But I definitely, let Day do his own thing. Day already got a chick, I think. I went through that boy phone. Lord, watch your daughters, Lord. That's all I can say is that little boy is something else. But my girls, I already checked them. 'Cause I think Bella one time, I heard her saying something about the little boy liked her. Like, listen, we going to school for school. We ain't going to school for boys. We ain't going to school for all that. I don't even want you getting that mindset of thinking it's all about, you hormones and all that naturally at a certain age, but I just kind of always want them to focus on education and shit. The boys always going to be there. Every year they make a new batch of boys. You'll be fine. You'll find the person you need. So I just be trying to implore my girls, get as much education as you can, then get to the boys.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that. I agree. Again, like I said, that just from my own experiences, I just say, they going to do what they want. You feel me?
Yeah.
Regardless of what we say.
Yeah. Oh no, I agree with that.
All we can really do is like what you said, and it's pressing the issue, continuously talking, right? But it'll definitely happen. Now, my point is like, what I wish I would have did more of was like you had more of that conversation because it might have helped. Or no, I'm not even gonna put it on nobody else. I should have just been a better example. Cause now she go out and she attracted to the niggas that's like me. I'm like, yo, I'm mad as shit. I'm mad at her. When for real, it's me I need to be mad at. Cause this nigga act like it just like me. I can't even her baby dad. I can't. Well, her daughter's father, I should say. her boyfriend, I know that they're gonna probably end up back together anyway, but that's another story. It's me. That's another thing too. Like I said, yo, like she'll call me and talk to me about stuff they going through, and I'm like,
That shit
I'm
you
literally
do.
dealing with the same shit right now. I'm dealing with the same shit right now. I got 7 kids. So you talk about a wake up call, like that's like this, like because again, ain't nobody show me how to do this shit, Davon. Ain't nobody even gave a fuck enough to tell me, bro, you need to tighten up. You going the wrong way, nigga. You need to start. So my point is, I'm learning this shit on my own. So that's how. So I ain't no question that God is real, and it ain't no question that God has positioned me to learn the lesson inevitably, even undoubtedly. Even if nobody gave it to you, I'm gonna put it in your life.
Yeah.
So now it's like now when you see like your daughter going through things and you gotta literally talk to your daughter, and you know that like years and years of being disrespectful to women and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Your daughters is out here, bro. So
Yeah.
now it's like, yo, I'm liable today. If what again, thank God for Jazz. Jazz has like placed this thing on me where like she has. When I say forced, I don't mean like I didn't have a choice, but because I know what I want, she placed this thing where like, all right, if I'm going to have a chance at getting what I want, I got to change. I got to do the work. And it's because of Jasmine that thing is coming to my life. You follow me? But my point is, you have, I don't know, the lessons is there, bro. I don't know. It's so funny, man. It's so funny. I don't have no grandparents, bro. I became a grandparent young. So it's like everything that I didn't have, I'm gonna have to become. So even when it comes to my granddaughter's father, my daughter is upset with him. I have to be a mediator. I can't be biased because my concern is Riley, my granddaughter. So I'm not gonna be in my daughter's ear telling her bullshit to keep the cycle flowing. It might get to a point where I gotta take the young boy and put him under my arm and really talk to him. Like, let me talk to you. Like really, like.
Yeah.
Because he clearly don't got that. When I say is like looking at myself again, he clearly don't have the shit that he needs in order to be who he need to be. Right. So he got to learn it from somewhere. So that like that God like it's like little stuff like that, like how my life be playing out, right? It might not be the prettiest, but it has potential to be beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So I don't try not to regret anything, bro. Because if it wasn't for those lessons, I probably would. I don't know how I would have learned.
Yeah. You gotta go through those losses. I mean, they're not losses, they lessons. Either wins or lessons.
I agree.
All right, I got another one for you. So, Chance the Rapper recently revealed that he was in special ed courses from 4th grade through graduation. He stated, and I quote, "Those types of diagnoses and labels on children messes with their sense of self and self-confidence. How would you fix the special education system?"
We kind of talked about this. First off, shout out to you. Want to start? Go ahead. You can start. I thought you was placing it on me. You can start.
I would definitely say, so working in the child welfare system, we do something called ages and stages where we can actually see, we track a child's progression. They get these little tests where it's like fine motor skills, the regular motor skills, where there's different things, actions they do. We try to see if there's any type of developmental delays at an early age. And I think if that's done more periodically, we would have so less misdiagnoses when we get to these schools and they're putting these kids on all types of medications, Ritalin, when sometimes these kids just need structure. They don't need the constant special education curriculum or medication that's tailored to slow them down or speed them up, basically just to comply whatever the regulations are in school. I think that just basically it's from a psychological and a medical standpoint. I think the misdiagnosis is kind of the really the crux of why the special education system has been failing for a very long time.
I wanted to say I wanted to shout out Chance the Rapper for revealing that. You know what I'm saying? And again, like I was in special ed. If you want to, well, it was called emotional support. It didn't have anything to do with. Yeah, it didn't have anything to do with like my learning, because that was there. You follow me? It was my behavior. You follow me? However, my point is, I was saying that we talked about this with children with IEPs, and I think I alluded to the idea of it's called an individual education program. Is that correct?
Education plan. Yeah.
Plan. Right. So what I alluded to was like. What I would do to fix it is really diving deep into the individual education plan. You follow me? Because like you said, people are being misdiagnosed. It's not that a child may have a learning disability. It might just be the learning environment that doesn't resonate with their ability to sit down for 6 or 7 hours and learn the way that the system is teaching them. You follow me? So, again, we in the class in emotional support, we had like a bodyguard. Our teacher was teaching us, but we had like a nigga that if you got wild, he'll grip you by your shit and take you out. You follow me? But we needed structure. A lot of if you go back and take the consensus of the kids that was in emotional support, they probably didn't have fathers. You follow me? Moms might have, or parents might have been on drugs. They might have just been exposed to things that were not easy for them to be able to process at such a young age. I started emotional support when I moved into the county. When I was in Philly, I started Ritalin in 3rd grade when I was still living out West Philly. They put me on Ritalin. I started off with 5 milligrams. I took Ritalin from from 3rd grade to 9th grade. By the time I got to 9th grade, I took myself off of it because I didn't like how it made me feel. You feel me? It would make me calm down, but it was because I was doped up. But it would give me, I would lose my appetite. I wouldn't eat lunch and shit. So by the time I get out of school, I'm walking home with a heavy ass migraine to the point that I'm just going home to lay down. You follow me? That type joint. You feel me? And mind you, I play sports. I was playing football, basketball, baseball. I got a migraine and got football practice. So no, I stopped taking it on my own. You follow me? And to my point, I wasn't hyperactive. I just needed a balanced meal in the morning. I'm going to the corner store and getting 2 bags of Doritos, pineapple soda, 2 bags of Fruities, and a honey bun, and eating that shit before I enter the school. I'm gonna be turned the fuck up. You feel me? So my point is, and then as far as like I said, like I just think that they should focus solely on the individual. You follow me? They just, mind you, I don't know everything about the program, but I know that they get paid for it somehow, some way. So in a lot of instances, they're, like you said, misdiagnosing people and just writing them off.
Yeah.
So it should be some type of, but with all government funded programs, it should be a more direct evaluation of what's taking place.
Yeah.
Don't just have a guideline that you follow. And if he kind of like lean a little bit towards here, we're gonna just say, yeah, the nigga he having trouble reading and shit. And then we're gonna just say he got a learning disability because the other 25 kids learned and he didn't. When the nigga might in 30 years, he might create some shit that changed the way that people live. So you know what I'm saying? Like we don't have those, especially in the inner cities, we don't have, our education program isn't designed to like get to the root of the problem and fix it. Yeah. You follow me? It's to say, okay, we're going to just manage it. We'll just manage it for the moment being, and these are our solutions. They put you in, we was in emotional support. We had bars on our windows, bro. We had bars. You feel me? So like, think about that.
I remember I was trying to get recruited. I was trying to get on the team, nigga. I wanted to be an emotional support so bad. Cause listen, I'm gonna tell you, I went to school with Ed, right? I would leave class, get a bathroom break. These niggas would be in the gym playing basketball for hours. They sit in the cafeteria on computers and shit. I'm in regular class, like, man, what the fuck I gotta do to get out this? Man, I want to be in there too, but not knowing that. I didn't know that they was getting you reeling. Didn't know it was the old head. What was it, Mr. Coleman, that was gripping you up and shit and all that. Like so, it's like they made it look like it was just so easy for y'all. Like, all right, man, they in the gym for hours, they playing basketball, or they in the cafeteria, this and that. And I'm just like, man, like I don't want to sit in this science class. I want to do that too. Like I had problems, but it's just like we don't really know what the next person really going through until they really explain it. So man, that was deep, man. I didn't really know you was going through all that. Dope episode so far, man. This John, we actually rolling up. We got a few more segments for y'all. What's your thoughts on the NFL so far through week 3?
Ooh, I know they gotta see. I'm used to what I've learned is because normally when I start placing my tickets is about halfway through, not about 6-7 weeks into the season, so about halfway through the season. This is my first year starting off from the beginning, but I see that the teams got to work their kinks out. They got to kind of like reestablish themselves.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been. It's been some pretty good games. That Dallas and Giants game last week was a pretty good one. Buffalo was a good one this past week. So I think as time progresses and the season goes on, we'll get some great stuff going on. Oh, the Baltimore and Buffalo, that was a good one. What was that, Monday or Sunday night?
Yeah.
80-point game. So I like it, and I think I'm gonna make some. I think I'm gonna make some money this season. So I'm looking forward to that.
Man, speaking of, it's time y'all to put some picks in. So I was going to take the time this week to try to teach people the overs and the unders when betting, because I know sometimes it's confusing. I got one homie, he called me the other day, was like, how did I win this ticket? Like, I only did this. So going to explain to people, basically the overs and the unders. If you're betting that, you can either bet three ways. You can bet the money line, which is basically saying that you believe a team is going to win outright. So if it's the Cowboys versus the Eagles, if you bet the Eagles money line, you're saying the Eagles are going to win regardless, whether it's by 3 points, 10 points, 1 point. If you bet that they win, you get the money. If you bet by the point spread, basically if the Eagles are favored to win by 7, it may say -7. That means the Eagles have to win by at least a touchdown. If they don't win by a touchdown, they only win by 6 points, they only win by 3 points, you lose. But if they win by a touchdown or more, you win. Also, on the reverse, if a team has +7, say the Cowboys +7. If the Cowboys lose by 3 and you plus the 7, they
Cover
now
the
have
spread.
that covers the spread. They now have a higher total than the Eagles, and now technically they win. Then when you have the last way you can bet is the over and the under. Basically, you're combining the scores of the Eagles. If the over is 50 points and the under is 42, the Eagles have 21. The Cowboys have 23. That combined score is 43. I said the over was 50, the under was 42. So that means that you wouldn't cover the under. But if you bet over and they actually scored over the 50 points, then you would win. So it could be a little tricky, but can be really rewarding.
I would say for beginners, I would just stick to the money lines. Just pick your team who you think gonna win through your money line. And if you go and do the spread, I would stay away from like smaller numbers with the plus. I would stay away from smaller numbers. I think you got a greater chance if it's like, so for example, like you said, the Eagles and the Cowboys. If the Cowboys, granted, I don't know because the Cowboys and the Eagles tend to be they play each other so close.
All right, yeah.
Let's say if the Eagles had or the Cowboys had a +14, I might take that. You follow me? But anything small, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah, the points.
I'm gonna stay off of it.
No, man. Any questions, y'all? Just hit us up. If you could pull the games up. Hold on, I could pull the games up.
No, I got you. I got it. I'll do it. Shout out to Fastlane Maine and his guys. They tapped in with me. We've been doing this segment, hit or miss with them, where they've pretty much he's doing, building parlays and putting his parlays out, but he's also found a way to make it like entertaining.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. Him and his two guys. Yeah. So all right, let me see. So we had one game this week. We had a Thursday game. Thursday we had who was it?
That was
the
Buffalo
Bills
and Miami. I knew Buffalo would cover that. Yeah, Buffalo.
Yeah. All right. So let me see. All right. So starting off with so the Bills beat the Dolphins 31-21 on Thursday. So all right. Starting off, we got Bengals and Vikings. The clash of the backup quarterbacks, right?
Yeah, so Joe Burrow is out for some time. Bengals quarterback. I don't know what the point spread is, but the straight money line. I'll just give everybody the money line. So I'll take actually the Vikings in the money line for that one to win.
Okay. Do you know I don't know who they backup quarterbacks are. You know who they backups? You got I think they say the Vikings got I could be wrong, but I thought I heard Carson Wentz. Did I hear that correct?
I believe you are correct. Yeah. So with that said, I'm actually going to go with the Bengals money line. I didn't know that Carson Wentz.
Who the Bengals quarterback? That's what I got to find out.
The Bengals quarterback actually got them a win in the last game where
he got
Joe
hurt.
Burrow went down. Yeah.
You know his name? I'm trying to see if I know him.
Hold on, I gotta stay on the browser.
But what's the name? Kind of shitty though. The Vikings. You might be right because the
His
Vikings
name is
offensive
Jake
line.
Browning.
Yeah, I don't know. That might be a eyesore. I think I watched a few of the Vikings games already. They just seem to not have a really decent front line, offensive line. So and I like I like Jefferson. I always try to pick him on my tickets to get I always pick him to score. You feel me? But I might have to go with the Bengals because you know what? No, I'm gonna take the Vikings. Even
Yeah,
though I
because
don't think they got it.
because you're just confused because they're saying that Carson Wentz is playing for the Bengals. He came out
See,
of
okay. So see, I might have.
yeah. So
What I might have.
I'm gonna stick
Yeah,
with I'm gonna stick with the Vikings. Then.
no, I'm taking Carson Wentz on the Bengals. Only because so what I might have heard again, I be doing so much stuff. So what they might have been talking about was the Bengals playing the Vikings. But I knew they mentioned Carson Wentz's name. I just didn't know where he was placed at. But I like Carson Wentz. I'll take Carson Wentz and Jamar Chase. Yeah, give me the Bengals. Give me the
My
Bengals on
apologies,
that
you're
one.
about to be mad again. It says instead the Vikings are starting former Eagles quarterback Carson Wentz. So I'm gonna pick the Bengals, like you said. Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna pick the Bengals. Yeah, no, we had to get the facts because once you said that, yeah. So we're gonna
So
edit
is
this
it?
down. So I'm
No, it's
the
okay.
Bengals.
It's okay. So who we got? Who we got? Who? So the Vikings and the Bengals. Carson Wentz starting for the Vikings.
Yeah, and Browning is starting for the Bengals, so I'm gonna take the Bengals with that one.
See, I'm gonna have it out just for the sake of Carson Wentz. I'm gonna go with and his experience. Again, like I said, the Vikings don't have too good of an offensive line, but I like the underdogs. I'm pretty sure the Vikings are the underdogs in that game. I'm gonna go with the Vikings on that one. Let me see. I'm just calling it out. Let me make sure. I'm gonna tell you who we got next. Give me 1 second. I'm looking at it from Google. I'm gonna look at it from FanDuel, nigga.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
can
If you
have
do it from FanDuel, you tell me the point spread too, because I can.
yeah. We'll do it like that. My bad. So we got why are they doing it like? Oh yeah, they doing it a whole
Make
different
sure
way.
y'all send donations to their podcast, the Cash App. After
Put up.
y'all hit y'all tickets, they're right there.
Let me say. Why am I not? Okay. Yeah, they did it. So all right. So Bengals plus 130. Minnesota. Like I said. Yeah, the Bengals. The Vikings are the favorite.
Yeah, the Vikings are the favorite. Yeah, so I'm definitely
Minus
taking.
minus 154.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bengals with that one for sure. With
Okay.
the
I'll stick with the Vikings on that one. All right, so let me start from the top. So we got the Raiders and the Commanders. Again, we got it. I'm not sure if he'll be out for a few weeks. Jaden, right? He's also injured, right?
yeah,
And I don't know who their backup quarterback is, but you got the Commanders is still the favorite. 154, 130.
Raiders plus 130. What's the point spread?
3 both ways. Raiders plus 3. Washington minus 3.
I'm gonna have to take Washington with that one because the -3 that they feel as though they're still going to cover. Pete Carroll just lost on his birthday, and the Raiders. No, I'm gonna
They
take
was
the
looking
Raiders.
trashed.
Yeah, the Raiders. The Raiders look horrible, and the Commanders are more of a cohesive unit. So I'm gonna keep the Commanders with that one. Commanders
Yeah,
-3.
yeah, I agree. I just think that great. We have a lot of picks similarly. I like it's because great minds think alike. But I'll take Washington on that one also. Next we got the Falcons and the Panthers. Carolina plus 188. Falcons minus 225. Panthers are at home also.
What's the point spread for the Panthers?
Panthers plus 5.5 and a half.
I'm taking Panthers on that one.
Nah,
They
I gotta
Panthers
go
versus
ahead.
Atlanta. Michael Penix Jr. He cool. I feel like he can get his things off, but Carolina games have been very close recently. So I'm just that +5. I feel like even if it's a field goal, they would cover that +5. Now I would take the probably the Atlanta money line,
So,
but if
all right, okay.
the
Yeah,
spread,
see
I would
me,
take.
in my mind. See you doing the spread, so I'm giving you the points. But I see what you're saying. For
Yeah,
me, I'm just doing straight money lines. I don't really mess with so I do straight money lines. But I got you. I follow you now. Yeah, I'm definitely I'm taking the Atlanta money line on that one for sure.
yeah, definitely.
All right, Green Bay Packers versus the Cleveland Browns. You got the Cleveland Browns plus 315 and the Packers minus 400, giving Cleveland plus 7.5. Green Bay minus 7.5.
I'm taking. Are they playing in Cleveland?
Yes.
I'm taking the Browns with that one +7.5. Miles Garrett, the defense, the Jordan Love and them getting off, but y'all playing in Cleveland. Yeah, Joe Flacco might not do too much, but it still should be a very defensive game, I believe. So it could come down to like maybe a field goal or even a touchdown or just like garbage points. But I think that +7 is a nice amount for Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm taking Green Bay foot with the plus on the money line plus a minus 400.
All right.
Pittsburgh Steelers at the New England Patriots. They've given the Patriots plus 108 on the money line. Pittsburgh minus 126. And as far as the spread, the point spread, New England plus 1.5. Pittsburgh minus 1.5.
I don't like the 1.5 ones because they kind of basically saying it's going to be a close game. However, I'm probably just going to. My heart is telling me New England because it's home. They're playing at home in New England. Yeah, my heart is telling me New England, but I feel like you can't bet against that boy, the bad man, Aaron Rodgers. So yeah, I'm gonna probably just based off the points and them being home and being so close with the spread, I'm gonna take New England with that one.
Yep, New England on the money line for me also. Rams at the Eagles. They've given the Eagles minus 186 as the favorite, and the Rams plus 156. Point spread, Eagles minus 3.5, Rams plus 3.5.
I think this is going to be the upset of the week because the Eagles have not looked that ferocious to me. They look really ordinary. So I'm going to say the Rams have an amazing running back. He's going to get off. Close game. What's the point spread for
the good Rams plus 3.5, and the Rams, they got a pretty decent receiving core. You know what I'm saying? The Eagles haven't really had the opportunity to do too much in the passing game thus far this year. However, I think it's inevitable that it'll happen at some point in time. Defenses, at my point, would be even if you're winning all your games on the ground, at some point defenses will, they'll shift their focus to that.
Yeah.
And create some type of dysfunction for you in your running game. So my point, and that's probably why they run a lot, because they got them weapons, for as receivers. So they probably getting doubled every time down the field. My point is that you can't do both. You can't stop the run game. I mean, you could, but the Eagles are too good. They got too many weapons for a team to stop their run and their passing game. If I feel like if the run game gets shut down, then it'll open up some opportunity for the passing game. So like I said earlier, I don't be betting against the Eagles, bro. So I'm gonna definitely take until they show me something different. I'm gonna take the Eagles on the money line at minus 186.
Definitely gonna take the Rams with the points.
Yeah.
But actually, not even just the points, the money line too. I just think it's going to be one of those close games. I hate to bet against the Eagles, but I kind of see this being that little upset this week.
Good game, and it's a 1:00 game, so that should be a good one.
Yeah.
You got the Colts at the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Ward, they're giving the Titans a 194 plus 194. They're giving the Colts minus 235. As far as the points, they're giving the Titans plus 4.4. I keep saying 0.4.5, and then they're giving the Colts minus 4.5.
So the Colts got to win by at least 5. Cam Ward is a really exciting youth, and the receivers, I hope that they come along. He doesn't have an offensive line at all, so I'm gonna definitely I would just have to take the Colts money line because I still think it may be close. So I would take the Colts for sure with the win for that one.
Who's quarterback? Who's the Colts quarterback right now? Let me see.
The young boy.
Because I would, just to mix it up a little bit, I might end up taking let me see who their quarterback is. Cam Ward, Daniel Jones, former Giant, yep.
No, I'm gonna have to go. I'm amend my statement. I ain't know Daniel Jones is quarterback. I'm gonna go with, are they playing in Tennessee?
Yeah, I might go. I might shake it up and go Tennessee money line.
Tennessee with that one. I'm Tennessee point spread.
Tennessee, okay, plus 4.5. Okay, yeah, I'll take the money line on that one. All the Joneses have been favorites up until that one, so I would take Tennessee on that. And like you said, they playing at home. Tampa Bay Buccaneers host the New York Jets. Tampa Bay is the favorite. Yeah, minus 310. The Jets plus 250. Point spread, Jets plus 6.5. Tampa Bay minus 6.5. I might take
that point spread a little. That's the only thing because The Jets
I don't know. I
still
might
play
take
good
that.
defense.
Bucky Irvin been looking good. The passing game, the passing game been a little shaky. It was a little shaky last week with the Buccaneers. They need to get a few things together with that. But the running game was pretty solid. I like Bucky Irvin. If you remember on the first joint, I said I always get
The
the running
Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons.
but it's because of the running backs. So I couldn't remember the Falcons running back name, but it's the running back. So you got Bucky Irvin on the Buccaneers. And did we do the Falcons already?
Yeah.
We did do we did the Falcons first, right? Tampa Bay. Why does this Jones skipped over a bunch of games, bro? I don't know why I did it like that. The Falcons and the Panthers, right? I'm about to tell you.
Yeah.
This is my man right here. He was looking good. He was looking good last week. Bijan Robinson. And I think they both wear the same number too. So that might be what would get me mixed up about them. But yeah, what I would probably do on that one, I'll probably take the Tampa Bay plus 6.5 against the Jets.
Yeah,
Just take the
they
money
giving
line.
Jets +6 or they giving the Bucks +6?
I'm sorry, they're giving the Jets +6. I'm taking the Buccaneers minus 6.5.
Yeah, I'll take the Bucks to score, beat them at least by a touchdown.
Yeah. We already did the Bengals and the Vikings. We got the Texans and the Jaguars. Jacksonville minus 130, the Texans plus 110. And the point spread is they giving it to the Jaguars minus 1.5, Texans plus 1.5.
I see some turmoil going down with Jacksonville. The coach is beefing with the Trevor Lawrence. He waving them off during play calls and stuff during the last game. I'm gonna have to go with the Texans. CJ Stroud should be due for a win.
Yeah, they was looking pretty. They look pretty good. Who did they lose? They lost. They lost to the. Was it the Panthers? It was the Buccaneers. I think it was the Bucks and the Texans, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I like them, and I like their makeup with their coach and D'Amico Ryans. He's a solid coach, and I don't know how they got them as the underdog in this genre. So I would definitely take, just on the strength of that, I would take the Texans.
Yeah.
I mean, just to recover some of that money, I would take the Texans at plus 110.
All right, yeah.
All right, Saints and the Seahawks. Hawks minus 390. Saints plus 310. Seahawks is looking a little. I don't know. Yeah, they giving the Seahawks minus 7.5. Giving the Saints plus 7.5. Seattle, yeah, plus 390. Yeah, I would probably just take them on the money line because you never know. They was when I was watching them play, they was looking a little shaky too.
But they just play good home. That the 12th man, that's a real like home field advantage with them to have that sound, and it still plays a part. So yeah, I'll take the Seahawks with that one.
Chargers hosting the Broncos. They're giving the Chargers minus 158, Broncos plus 134. As far as the spread, they're giving the Broncos plus 3, and they're giving the Chargers minus 3. What you
I'm
doing?
gonna take the Broncos. Chargers have looked amazing, and Denver just really lost. We beat ourselves last game. The penalty at the end, the guy, he missed the field goal. We won the game, but then our center touched their center, so they got a re-kick. So I'm gonna take the Broncos with this one. Point spread and money line.
Yeah, I would take the Chargers. I like the Chargers in this, and I would probably just take them they're giving minus 105 on the point spread and minus 158 on the money line. So I would most likely take the point spread. I think they could handle that obstacle, especially and they playing at home, the Chargers. So to give me the Chargers minus 3 on the point spread. Cardinals, they did some. This should be a good game to watch. The Cardinals need to get they need to tighten up a little bit. So I might. All right. So you got the Cardinals versus the Niners. They're giving the Cardinals plus 114. 49ers minus 134. Point spread 2.5 for the Cardinals. Plus 2.5 for the Cardinals. For the Niners, minus 2.5. What you doing?
I'm going Niners. Yeah, I'm gonna go Niners. I mean, I wouldn't hope to care.
What you taking the spread of the money line?
I feel like the Niners is minus what in the money in the spread?
134.
How much they got to win by? Because that's the spread.
3.
They got to win by
3.
Nah, I might. Shit, I don't know. Something telling me the Cardinals. So yeah, I'm gonna pick the Cardinals.
Even with the Cardinals, and they playing with a backup. I think ain't Brock Purdy hurt, so they playing with another backup. And the Cardinals had I forget who they played last week, but they did pretty. They was on my ticket, and they did some amazing shit towards the end of the game. They just I don't think they won, or either they did win, but they did. It was something that I missed on the ticket. I don't know, but they surprised me. So, I'm gonna definitely go them, and then for the plus 114 against the minus 134, I'll definitely take the Cardinals on that.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's a division game too. If I'm not mistaken. Cowboys and the Bears.
Cowboys.
So you got the all right. Cowboys minus 124 on the money line. Bears plus 106. Bears plus 1.5 on the spread, point spread, and minus 1.5 for the Cowboys.
Yeah, that being so close, yeah, I got the Cowboys winning that. Probably it's gonna probably be like about a field goal, but the Cowboys have been showing some progress, especially with that last game that I think that they beat the Giants. So yeah, I got them winning.
Yeah, Cowboys are another. I realized that when they played the Eagles first game, I said, okay, they got it. I don't know. It's just they missing something, or maybe even a few things, right? But it's there though. They got it with Dak. They got it with the two receivers there, so they could do some things. So yeah, I like the Cowboys running down on the Bears on the money line. I'll take the money line. So all right, so the last two games are. Well, we got 2 months. Oh no, that's Thursday. So the primetime game, the Giants versus the Chiefs in New York. They're giving the Giants plus 235, and they gave the Chiefs minus 290. Chiefs minus 5.5 on the spread, and the Giants plus 5.5.
I'm taking the Chiefs with the spread money line. Yeah, I think they're 0-2 right now, so they're due for a win. The Giants
And against even though
Giants are horrible. Like Giants, it's going to be. Yeah. I think Russell Wilson is probably might play his last game as a Giants starter this game, and then they're going to move in. I think the young bull,
Jameis Winston.
No, Jameis Wilson is 3. Jameis Wilson is 3 in the depth chart. I think the next young Daniel, what's his name? I forget his name, but he's a nice quarterback. He's really good. I think he'll mesh well with Malik Neighbors.
He's a rookie, right? Is he a rookie?
Yeah.
I like the Chiefs too because even though they 0-2 at the moment, they still have that championship DNA. And I think against a team like the Giants, that they could rely on their experience to pull out the win, especially defensively. Even though I think that the Giants can do some wowing things offensively, I think the Chiefs will figure out a way to come out of there with the win. However, if the Giants do beat the Chiefs, the Chiefs might be in some trouble. However, I'm gonna take the Chiefs on the money line at minus 290. All right, and for our Monday game, last Monday they gave us 2 games, so this week they only giving us 1 Monday game, which is cool. I'll take it. Yeah. The Ravens and the Lions. So they're and the Ravens are at home. They're giving the Ravens minus 240 on the money line. They're giving the Lions. I'm sorry, they're giving the Ravens minus 240 and the Lions plus 198 on the point spread. Ravens minus 5.5. Detroit plus 5.5. What you doing?
Man, I'm gonna have to take Lions with that one. They scared me the first game. I wanted to know they were such a high profile organization. I mean, offense last season and putting up these large numbers. But then I seen glimpses of that last game. So I'm gonna have to take the Lions especially with the plus 5 because they will score. Baltimore can score. King Henry gets off. Lamar Jackson gets off. Hollywood Brown. They got everything over there for Baltimore, but I just see the Lions, really, they're just so fast paced. I just got them winning.
Who you like? Who's the quarterback? Is this the same guy, Jared Goff?
Yes.
For the Lions? Yeah, I can't go against Baltimore. Baltimore, another one that got me in the chokehold. I can't go against that. So I'm gonna go Baltimore on the money line plus 240. And I got and a few other things on my parlay, on my player parlays. So yeah, that was it, man. And I think this gonna be a good week in football, man. It started off pretty good. Damn near hit. I just needed Josh Allen to get. I took him on the over 238. He had 218. You feel me? So I don't normally do that with the quarterbacks, especially somebody like Josh Allen, because I know that he can have an outstanding passing game, but he'll also have an outstanding running game. So it's always iffy with him, right? But with somebody I usually just take 200 on the alternate points, on the alternate yards. But I needed him to get to 239 and everything else hit, but that joint didn't hit. So, but Bills, I like the Bills. They'll be getting some more picks from me in the future. Yeah, and the Ravens are one of them teams, and I like Detroit. Detroit is good. They
Yeah.
got I like Amon St. Brown. I like Gibbs. I like they running back. You feel me? But they got a few other Sam Laporta. Like they got some pieces over there. You feel me? But I just can't go against Baltimore. It's gonna be hard. You feel me? All right, what else we got, bro?
All right, I think we only got a few more Johnny Jones, and then we all done. WrestlePalooza comes on. Watch out if y'all got ESPN. ESPN. Well, people are boycotting it now because of Jimmy Kimmel, but get it to watch the Wrestling Palooza. That's now how pay-per-views will, what they call them, PLEs, will be coming on now. ESPN, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania. That all comes on ESPN now. So that's what I'll be enjoying my day, playing Call of Duty with my old lady, watching wrestling, chilling. What's the
Word.
last segment? All right, so we could say the Denzel Jones. I'm gonna watch it, and we can discuss because I think you got a deep dive. You want to discuss about the movie, but all right, I got a good question for a hypothetical, John. If you control BET, what would you do? They're giving you the keys to the castle. They
If I
saying
can.
you controlling the programming, the award shows, television. What are you doing? I'm gonna give you four
I'm going
things. You
good.
got four things. I know I'm just telling you. You got the executives. They telling you four things that you're gonna do once you take over the network. And then I'll give my four.
Four things. That's a great question. My style is going to be I'm going to go like all throwback classic black shows. I'm going to try to get my hands on as much of that stuff as I can. You follow me? Yeah, that's going to be my style. Like trying to like go take it back to a point when it was really like when people was really still enjoying, BET. You know what I'm saying? I would definitely like this another thing too. I would go into business and BET may do this already, but I would definitely like try to create more opportunities for young. It's black entertainment, so my shit gonna be super biased. Not that I wouldn't. I would like hire like people of other like ethnicities to come to help out at the thing. But for the most part, I'm gonna be trying to empower my people through that, John. However, I'll say that too. I'll empower my people through it. I will also like it was something that I was getting to. I lost it. I hate when I do that shit. Definitely go back to. I said go back to the revamp. Like go back to the how it used to be classic. Get my hand on all the classic shows. Create opportunities for the people. The award shows. I would make the award shows great again. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
it's I watched it this year and this past year, and they kind of like did that, if you will. They made it like extravagant, probably more extravagant than we've seen in years. They've tried to because I guess they're starting to understand the demographic. They understanding that the the aunts and uncles now, they the ones that was watching it, 106 in Park. They older now, you feel me? So they did good with that, even implementing like your costs and knots and the streamers and all your social media Jones. I would definitely like, focus on making that like a staple of what we do. Also, we just haven't had, I mean, they still do a lot of award shows, but we just haven't had any great Jones in a long while, and I would focus solely on like, again, getting a lot of our prominent black entertainers and athletes and stuff to want to be a part of it. And lastly, I don't know, but I would just say this. I would definitely go back to the, again, try to, as far as like what I put on TV, like give it like it will definitely have new opportunities.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll say that, right? Along with giving opportunities, I would not just to work there, but also to display your work there.
Right.
Like I'm gonna be all about giving our people an opportunity. So whether those would be I'll make that two, because I was having a hard time coming up with a fourth John. I would work with like black producers, directors, and filmmakers on the creative side. And as far as like in the office and behind the scenes, I'll give a lot of our people opportunities there. Revamp the award show, like work hard at making that a staple of what we do. Like when we do that, it grab our people attention like how we used to back in the day. And that kind of like go hand in hand with what I said too, like just kind of like how like Martin is I was thinking about that shit the other day, like when we was younger, we might have seen like Fred Sanford, or we might have seen like Good Times, right? Those was rerun. Martin and Wayne Brothers and Jamie Foxx,
Everybody hates Chris.
Steve Harvey show. Those are our versions. Yeah, those are our versions of that. You follow me? So I would definitely like work hard at like getting a lot of those classic shows that we kind of like grew up on and having those a part of the network.
So I was thinking I would do basically I would make the entire black experience one network. I mean, when I say like remember how we felt as kids about Fridays, TGI Fridays and ABC, as though you had show after show after show on a Friday night, whereas though the kids, parents could stay in the house with their kids on a Friday night. You could watch that. I would bring that back. I would bring back, like you said, 106 in Park, Cedar's World, The Basement. I would bring back these things so it's like after every day of school, you got that same, you got Cedar's World, you got Rap City in The Basement, where they're showing music videos, but then also got people coming freestyling. You could actually revamp it, make it the radio, the radar thing, where people come in at the freestyles. Then you got one of Park, you let Kai Cenat or Drewski, these new youths hosted. They're showing all our new music every day. Where we having performances. They're talking about the things that's going on in the community, the things that's affecting us. We got that voice every night that kids could come home to and they're watching while they're on their phone. They have things you can interact with in TikTok and YouTube and Twitter that you can request songs or vote on the songs. Like you make it more interactive. I would then Tyler Perry is banned from the fucking network. I don't want to see a Tyler Perry movie, TV show, nothing. We're not putting any type of negative demographic, none of that mess, none of that the black beautiful, no, like none of that. If you want to watch that, go on Zeus, go on Netflix, go on that. Like this is going to be like a family network. We're going to have, we still going to play Baby Boy on Saturdays on the movies. We still want to have all these good things, but I would just like my main thing would be to make it one experience, bring back the old TV shows, definitely bring in the youth like Casanet and them. So basically my main four things to just if I had control of BET would be just to make it one black experience. When I say like from everything that we as a kid went through, like from watching the news, let the BET nightly news, let it be a Saturday morning cartoons, let Baby Boy is on Saturday nights, the movies where they have a movie nights or movie days. Let it be, remember how they used to have a celebrity would take over the channel for a whole day and play all of their favorite music videos. Let it things be like that.
Host the countdown, yeah.
Yeah, post the countdown. Kai Cenat, Drewski, Hoskin, 106 in Park, like the Basement, Cedar's World. Letting it be this experience that when a kid comes home from school, they immediately going right to BET and turn it on. They're seeing the commercials, the things that just engages our people. Like I think that's what we miss. Like because you could turn on BT, you seeing a Sprite commercial that you're not seeing on ABC. They're not even talking in the same way. The dialect, the way
It was
that they
the
speak.
demographic. We was the target
We was
audience.
the targeted audience, so they knew how to speak to us. How the commercial would be from McDonald's or the BT commercial. It was different. So like I want that personalization again. Like I want that, and then also just engaging in the youth, the Twitter, TikTok. They could be voting on the music videos from that. Who's number
That's
one on
fire.
the countdown today? Like what couples is going on? What's the celebrity news? Like we don't have that. Like News has that. MTV still has that. We don't have that. Like it would be something like a Friday movie premiere, like a movie that just came out, whereas though you might not be able to see it in the movie theaters. You might not have it, but BT has paid for the rights for it on a Friday night. Sit home with your family and watch a new movie or a movie that. So I think they should just make the channel just really
Great.
just a black experience. Like it would really be like a joy to watch every day. You come home and one channel, you got the reruns, House of Pain and the Cosby and Martin and
Throwback
Living
Thursday.
Single, Throwback Thursday, the whole day. It's just nothing but classic TV shows. You know what I mean? People like, I'm calling out today. I'm sitting in the house watching Martin and Living Single and
Real
this and
shit.
that. And like, come on. Right after the time the kids got to school, here come 106 in Park. Here come Cedars World. Here come Rap City in the Basement. Here where they rapping and freestyling and you getting to meet the new artists and still playing music videos. So I just think we're just missing that simplistic part of life and just the black experience.
We can do it though, bro. That's just from your ideas, they sound similar to what I would do. Obviously your ideas are a lot more structured, but everything that you said is stuff that I would like to do, and it's stuff that we can do now. The only difference is, we are, we're platformed on the internet, but we can create. That's the whole. That's why this thing is YBG, the network, because I wanted to leave a space for other fresh ideas to come in. But we could do it, bro. And that's part of like what my vision is for this, is to grow beyond just podcasting. You follow me? I want to be a big enough platform to where, as though, like I said, you asked me what I would do if I was running BET. I said I would give opportunities to young up and comers. You follow me? I got not only do I got children, I got a gang of nieces and nephews. You follow me? So it's things. Everything that you said sound kind of fire. I think that we could figure out a way to kind of like take some of those ideas. I got something else, another idea, but I'll share it with you because I don't want to give too much away. But yeah, we could do it. We could do a lot of that shit. It just would take, apart from like resources, time. I would say time would be the most important thing. But we can begin to create an idea like that. You follow me? And what a lot of these networks end up doing, Davon, they wind up getting like sponsorships. That's why we got Sprite commercials and shit like that, because they fund the network. You feel me? So like we build a strong enough base, we could then begin to market ourselves to potential investors and people that will invest into our product to help our platform. So now we're not doing it online. We got an actual set or a studio space where we do these shows and all that stuff like that. So everything is possible, bro, and everything started with an idea. Things do just happen, but people that create things, people that have created things, they started off with networks. And a lot of these guys started literally from the bottom, unless they were given something. You follow me? But a lot of these companies that run the world, Google started in a garage.
Yeah.
You feel
YouTube
me?
started at IUP. They started IUP at the college I went to. They started
You see
YouTube
what
up
I'm
there.
saying? That's fire. I didn't even know that. And that's fire. So like, even like with little confirmations and ideas like that, we could do any of this, anything, bro. You just got, what I'll say this to end it off. Like, I know we got a lot of other things that we do. This is the Black Dad Podcast, and we do have a lot of other focuses and responsibilities. But I want you to remember that this my joint, So I mean, like, this is my focus. You follow me? I have other focuses, but I've redesigned my life or restructured my life to be able to give more of this a focus, and it's with a purpose. So if you got some ideas, let's try to figure them out, bro. Like, don't hold on too tight to your ideas, and even if I can't be the one, even if I'm not the one that can like make it happen, I could be a part of like helping to figure out, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's, that's why I'm in this shit, bro. And that's what, when I work with people, I'm all in. You follow me? So we could do that shit. We could create our own BET network.
Yeah, I'm talking, man.
It's called the YBG Network, the Black Dad Podcast on the YBG Network. We could create another network. I don't hold back no ideas, bro. If you look at what I've been doing over the last couple of weeks, if an idea strike me, I put it out. You feel me? So
people don't realize you can really monetize the Black experience. I don't know how many people outside of the United States who would just watch just the converse, the changing of the narrative. The BT could have, or even the YBG could be a YBG HBCU channel, towards though we just recording HBCU football games,
hold on,
highlighting
stop. You giving them too much sauce. He giving them sauce.
Saying, like, I'm
Come
telling you, like,
on.
I got like my mindset like really sitting in at things like this. Like, I'm telling you, like, I really believe that this video right here is going to be in a documentary years later. Like, how did these young men start running a network or something? Like, it was just a start and just the building blocks, and just saying, we know that this is something that people will want to watch and see and every day take experience to. We know that the perception we want of our people. We know that we want these shows and these different type of things and these outlets. Why not do it? We don't have to keep complaining about why they keep this representation of us that way, when we can represent ourselves in a way that we deem fit.
Award shows, we can give out award. We got
They just
young
recently
black.
suspended. They just recently suspended the BET Awards indefinitely and the Soul Train Awards. They said they don't know when they're going to do it. They don't make any money like that off of it.
Yeah.
Like, so it's a
Yeah.
path.
Because and also and that was probably why they went all out this year, bringing out the streamers and the what do you call them, content creators and stuff like that, and first trying to, because everything is so digital now.
Yeah.
People will sit in front of the TV, but they not watching, like, they streaming their shows.
That's another
Me?
thing too. Why not have Kai Cenat, his stream, make a partnership with Twitch, which do at a certain time of the night, just like how BT Uncut. We'll have Kai Cenat streaming Uncut, like, so as though you can sit and watch him overnight. Like,
That's
there's
fine.
so many different ways to do it. Towards the one channel, you getting the entire Black experience, the news, the streaming, the content creators, the YouTube. Like, one channel could be where as though people just reviewing YouTube posts. What's on the shade room today? What's on Baller Alert?
What's what they call it? What's trending on Twitter? Yeah. On Black Twitter. What's trending on Black Twitter? Listen, that's what I'm saying. I'd rather be doing that shit than working at my last job. I'd rather be doing that and literally, like, building it up and creating the space. All that shit sound fire. I'm this guy. I'm the dude. You ever see Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah.
So I'm this guy. I'm Jonah Hill. His character. Well, not his character, because he was a little wacky, right? However, what he did do was when he ran into Leonardo DiCaprio's character when they first met, he said, "How much you make? You like, I keep seeing you around here. You dress nice, la la la. You drive that nice car. How much money you make? Like, what you do? You like something?" And he tell him, "I make 12,000. Mind you, this is a different point in time, but he say, "I make, even if you made that money today, that would be great." But he said, "I make I do such and such and such. I make $12,000. I make 12. Did he say 12,000? Yeah, he said I make 12,000 a month." Boy said, "You show me some documentation where you make 12,000 a month. I'll quit my job and come work for you right now." My point was, even though they started scheming, my point was, in it to win it, down for the cause. You feel me? Like, dude clearly wasn't making $12,000 a month at his other job. You feel me? So that's, seeing those opportunities and capitalizing off of them is what I would say. Not an opportunist, not just taking any old opportunity, but finding yourself in those spaces to create the life that you want, bro. That would, that's kind of like how I would be if I ran across a circumstance like that. When we do the Young Black and Gifted podcast, when I do the I just created the YSN, the Young Sports Network, is a playoff of like ESPN, where I do the highlights of the young football players, and I'm like commentating like Stuart Scott. You follow me? That's something that I just currently, and I tag Cameron in a minute. It is what it is. You follow me? Just searching for those opportunities to expand. You follow me? And I don't want to it's a little bit more to it than that. I don't want to give away too much with my shit like that, but we can do all that shit that you just mentioned, putting it in the place of a BT, even if you create a different name. It don't have to be the YBG network, but you can create the name of the network today and begin building it today. And if you decide to, I'm all with you, bro. I'm on board.
No, bro, we're gonna be on Roku TV within a year, man. Watch, we're gonna have music videos, a channel, news. Like, man, I got it. You got to speak and you got to believe it to achieve it. So I believe it, man. We need some of this.
It's way too many kids out here. It's way too many children out here. Like, I mean, between like our families, like you got children, you got nieces, nephews, daughters, sons. You can put them in position. They could host the countdown. Yeah. The video countdown and shit. We could just be the brains behind the operation, setting everything up and putting our people in position to be able to carry out our vision. That's the intent here. You feel me? Is to put others in position. You feel me? I would love to be sitting behind the desk. You feel me? And, you know what I mean? Going through some paperwork and, Drewski he said it's just some, like, I forget how he say that shit, like some legal bullshit, nothing that you got to worry about type shit.
This come sign your life rights.
Don't worry about this. This is a little legal shit, legal bullshit.
No, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. It's been another great episode. Definitely, yes, sir. Knocked out some great things, man. We're coming back. You
let me know, man. We could do a week. I know we took 2 weeks off, but let's do a week. Again, this is our shit, bro. If you decide you want to do another episode tomorrow, we just gotta line it up. But again, I want to be mindful of our day to days. Whether it's work, whether it's being a family man, whether it's just trying to be a man. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that we got enough space for that. But we'll talk. We'll talk. I got a few other ideas I want to share with you about this, and we'll talk offline. So if not, let's say another week. Let's say another week. I got an idea. This is episode what, 13? Yeah, episode 13. So let's come back in another week. But I'll send you a voice note or talk to you once we stop recording. I'll share something with you.
Gotcha. Gang, gang.
There it is, y'all. Black Dad Podcast episode 13, man. We out of here.
This is only a test.